Yes, y'all. Happy Friday. Welcome to Office Hours. Welcome. Let's get this party started. Welcome, everybody. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Happy Friday. Dylan Wagner, awesome. John, welcome. Max, welcome. Jeff, welcome. Great to see you all here. Welcome. We will get this show on the road here in just one moment. Looks like I'm coming in loud and clear. Awesome. Good to see you. What's up, email? Good to see you, Horatio. Mr. Robert Brendan, awesome. Fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everybody has got a long Memorial Day weekend. Got some plans for that for those here in the U.S. And hope you all had a good, productive week. We'll get this show on the road here in just 1 second. We'll let a few more people jump on. Just a reminder, the way Office Hours works, pure Q&A. You can post questions in the comments. I'm also going to post an invite link here for anybody who's got a longer question, something that needs more context, things like that we need to talk through. You can go ahead and use that live stream link to jump on. And in 1 second, I will start with any questions in the Moguls group. Moguls are a paid mastermind, to see if we have any questions coming over there. It looks like John's got a question. And looks like Bob's got a question. Cool. So I will grab those here in just one moment. Dawson says, signing on from Niagara Falls. Good to see you, sir. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get going here. I want to start. I am starting these calls now with a quick lesson or something on my mind or whatever, just to kick things off here while questions come in. And the lesson that I wanted to share here today, which has been top of mind, just based on a good number of conversations that I have had here in the last week or two with various people, and that is figuring out the price of what you want and deciding that you are 100% committed to paying that price before you start. And what I'm referring to is, as entrepreneurs, we know that there's going to be a tremendous amount of challenges to go from where we are today to wherever we want to be. Whatever our ambitions are, we know that there's going to be a lot to that. We know, if we're being realistic, that it could take us years, that it could take us starts and stops, before we actually achieve what we're looking for. And deciding to pay that price before you start, I think, is the most important thing that you can do to ensure that you don't quit before you have the opportunity for success. And I see it happen so often in my line of work, in working with different entrepreneurs, or would-be entrepreneurs, I should say, that, they don't actually make that decision to pay that price, or they're just completely unrealistic about it. And, kind of reminds me, I feel like when you're a kid growing up and you're trying to figure out what is it that you want to do with your life. And there's always this conversation that happens where somebody says, I would like to be a doctor, but that just takes too long, right? I feel like as a kid, I heard that conversation, I don't know, like 1,000 times. It's like, oh man, I would love to be a doctor, but that just takes too long. You're going to be like 30 before you're a doctor, right? And when you're a kid, 30 is like an eternity, right? And you're an old man, you're all washed up and dead by that point. And who knows how many people out there that would be good doctors that just, they were like, there's no way I'm going to pay that price. And then at some point or another, later on in their life, I'm sure that there's a lot of those people who thought that they wanted to be a doctor, and they're 35 and they're stuck in whatever career that they're stuck in that they don't actually enjoy and don't get any fulfillment from. And then they're looking back and going, damn it, I could have been a doctor already. 5 years ago, I would have been a doctor. I feel like that has played out who knows how many times in history in kids' conversations. And then them becoming adults and realizing, oh man, now I'm doing some shit career that is not actually interesting to me. I just stumbled into because I didn't want to pay that price. And I feel the same way about entrepreneurship. I talk to so many people that have this mindset of, oh, I didn't make the money I wanted to make in the first month. I didn't, you know, get the answers that I was looking for in those first 45 days or something like that. And then they quit. And it's just crazy to me. And I don't fight them on it at all, because to me, if you made it 30 days, 45 days into trying to be an entrepreneur and you quit, then you should quit, because this isn't for you. But I would hope that this lesson that I'm sharing here today would help as many people as possible get real about, hey, here's the price I have to pay, whether it's for being an entrepreneur or anything else that you want in your life. It's all the same. There is a price that has to be paid for whatever it is that you want. And getting clear on that price up front. I want to be a Navy SEAL. Okay, well, being a Navy SEAL, here's the program, right? You got to go through all this. You got to go through BUDS. You got to go through Hell Week. You're going to be starved. You're going to be nearly drowned. Who knows how many times. You're not going to sleep for 5 days in a row while people are shooting at you, right? But if you want to be a SEAL, that's the price that you pay. There's no other way to go about it. Nobody's going to make you a SEAL without paying that price. And there's a decent chance that even if you do pay that price, you're still not going to be a SEAL. And so that's got to be part of the price that you're willing to pay. And there's no other way. I want to get fit, there's a price I have to pay. I want to lose weight, there's a price I have to pay. I want to build the career that I actually enjoy and love, there's a price I've got to pay. And again, it breaks my heart when I see people that, they think, hey, I want X. And then as soon as they hit any challenges and realize the price that they have to pay, they quit. That's not the way it works. So I hope that is helpful to somebody out there. And let me go ahead and jump into, oh, that's awesome. Says I'm going to play this for my 17-year-old son, Lisa. That's awesome. Let me go ahead and jump over to moguls here real quick and look at the questions. So John, who is on the call here, says, I'm feeling a good idea would be to do a webinar based on the R6 format, along with some audit knowledge, trying to find a good title that will draw people in. Any ideas? Here are some ideas: how to audit your own business to know where you can improve. A discussion of questions you need to ask yourself to understand how you can improve your bottom line. To tech or not to tech, that is not really the question. You're aware of all the technology that is available for small business today. John, I think that you need to get a little more sexy with the titles. I think you need to get a little more sexy with the titles for that webinar. Webinars are just like any other ad or subject line of an email or anything like that. They've got to be sexy enough to get somebody to stop, click. And then with a webinar, it's quite challenging, right? You've got to get somebody to stop, click, register, and then actually show up at the time of the webinar, or take the time to watch the replay. Any of that, all of that is difficult. Okay, so I don't disagree with you on the concept. I actually think it's a good concept as well. I think you could do a lot with that. I think, though, that the titles you need to get sexier with. And what I would recommend that you do, and let me just real quick pull this up, is we do some good old ChatGPT, right? Because, man, if there is something that ChatGPT can be really helpful, it's stuff like this. It's like, man, I need to get the wheel spinning. I need to get things going, and then maybe I can figure out something from there. But oftentimes, just kickstarting those ideas can be challenging. So please help me write 10 titles for a webinar I'd like to do for small business owners where I will demonstrate to them a simple framework to understanding underutilized marketing strategies and tactics at their business and the impact they could have on their growth. All right, so John, obviously I'm just winging that a little bit from our R6, what the R6 is. So let's just see what it comes up with. Unlocking growth, leveraging underutilized marketing strategies for your small business. Hidden gems, marketing tactics small businesses aren't using but should be. Growth hacks, discovering untapped marketing opportunities for small businesses. Maximize your marketing, simple strategies for big impact. I can keep on reading them, but you can see them. But I think for me, the point is ChatGPT is a fantastic way to kickstart those ideas. And oftentimes, what I will do, John, is then I will grab, maybe there's like 3 of these, and I'll say, I like these 3. Please give me 5 variations of each of those. And I'll say something like, pretend you are a direct response copywriter and use direct response copywriting techniques to make these as intriguing as possible. And sometimes I'll give it specific direction, include a number in the title. Start it with the words "how to," or include, the X secrets or whatever it is. So sometimes I'll give it that guidance and see what it says. The great thing is that took 5 seconds. So, run, 10 different versions of that. I guarantee you're going to come up with a pretty good headline that you're happy with, a pretty good title for that presentation that you're happy with. Okay. Bob Beck says, setting up MSP plans in the SaaS configurator. I'm a little confused on how the two relate as I'm going through your bootcamp, how to package and deliver profitable foot in the door services with HighLevel. To put my foot in the door offer, free website with paid hosting, I've created products in my MSP sub account. The bootcamp introduced me to the SaaS configurator. So I'm not sure how the two are connected or if they are connected. Okay, Bob, good question. And I'm going to have to give a little bit of I'm not 100% sure, because HighLevel is pretty good at changing this stuff pretty darn frequently. So I'm going to give a little bit of a I'm not quite sure, but what I would say is that, what I would say is that I think right now that they are independent of each other, and that in the SaaS configurator, you would create your service packages that are specifically for SaaS, specifically for somebody is signing up, paying a monthly fee, getting access to features within HighLevel, capabilities within HighLevel, right? And on your products, you would put anything else that you're selling. So, you could have a one-time audit fee. You could have a, hourly rate for design services, or something like that. Like there's any number of things that you could decide that you need to have in there, but that would go in the product section, and in the SaaS configurator is where you would do anything where what you are selling is access to HighLevel in the form of those automated payments and automated provisioning of snapshot credits, credit limits, reselling of minutes, SMS, things like that. That would all be done through the SaaS configurator. Okay. So I hope that helps you. And the reason why I just say I started that off with the caveat of I'm not sure is I've played around just a number of times here recently where, oh, it looks like Bob, maybe, is that you? Is this who I'm talking to? Give me a wave if that's you. Yeah, okay, cool. Jump on here. How's it going, Bob?
Okay.
Good. Did that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say I'm not sure on if there is any connection between them is because, like, if I send out an invoice, I can choose, like, on that invoice, I can choose products from that invoice, but I would not choose I would not choose a SaaS configurator from, configurator product from there. I just don't know that those things, even though in my mind, when I'm setting up a SaaS configuration, it's creating a product, but I don't believe that I can grab that and attach it to an invoice. And I don't think that there would be any point to that anyway, because you want, them to go in and put in their credit card to purchase the SaaS configuration directly, rather than sending an invoice. But I just don't know if there's any connection there at
I
all.
didn't understand the separation, but you explained it, so I
Okay,
get it.
cool.
But the follow-up question to that is when I went into Stripe, because when you're in the SaaS and you're playing around with it, there's a little warning, don't delete these because they're in your Stripe account, that kind of thing. But when I
Mm-hmm.
go to the Stripe account, those, unless I need to configure them first for them to show up, they're not there. The only products in my Stripe are the ones I created under products. So I don't know if you know the answer to that either, because
Uh,
they're not show like the SaaS, the default SaaS products under SaaS configurator are
mhm.
not showing up in my Stripe for some reason.
I think that they should be created automatically when you create them in the SaaS configurator, but
Okay,
I mean,
so well, maybe I just need to go ahead and configure them, and then they'll show up. Maybe
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If you haven't configured them,
it made it sound like these are the default products. They should be in your Stripe, but they're not.
mm,
Maybe I need to make a change or save something to have it sync. I don't know.
yeah, it's interesting. It says, yeah, I'm just looking at it right now. Please do not delete these products inside your Stripe account. Modifying these settings will change the costs incurred by your clients going forward. Okay. I still think though that, well, no, it's got a Stripe price ID right there. So, and I'm sorry, hold on, let me share the screen so that you can see what I'm
Hmm.
talking about right here. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you look in the SaaS configurator, I mean, it's got the Stripe price ID here, so they exist. Um,
Maybe I'll just jump on with support on that one. Okay.
yeah, I think that they should be there. I don't. Oh shoot, sorry, not sharing the right tab. I don't know that. I mean, maybe they have to have been. No, I was gonna say maybe they have to have like somebody actually, put in a credit card once before they're gonna show up. But I don't think so. I think that they should show up in there automatically.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to take another look. But the separation now, I get what you said. So
Yeah.
products, as if you want to sell something outside of high level service, whatever.
Yep.
SaaS is the packages you're offering, and that should be the order form that gets put into your SaaS website, whatever that is.
Yeah. When you're building your order form and you're choosing, and that again, like that's where you would choose the products for the order form, and you would choose the SaaS plans there. So I
Okay.
mean, technically, it's like a product. So when we ask is there overlap or connection, I mean, there kind of is, and there should be because that is what you're doing. You're creating a product. It's just a SaaS configured product. So and I just want to clarify, like, so you said if you're setting up something that's like outside of high level, and yes, if you're selling something that is outside of high level, you would create a product in the products, but you could also create a product where you are then going to give somebody access to something within high level or using high level or whatever it is. It just would not be connected to the automated capabilities of the SaaS configurator. So you could technically say, hey, here's a website for $997, and you could have that as a product and send it out on an invoice and sell it to somebody. And then you're just going to build a website using HighLevel, and there you go. Your website's live. And technically the sub account exists for that account and all that. So it's all using HighLevel, but you're just not doing any automated provisioning and letting them have access to the other resources of HighLevel.
Yeah,
So
basically you're just building outside of the whole
yeah,
scope of,
automated
yeah.
configuration and provisioning and billing and stuff like that. So I just stress to everybody, if you're doing anything where you're reselling any minutes or any SMS credits, any of that type of stuff, you've really got to use that SaaS configurator, because if you were trying to do that manually, you're just going to lose money. There's no way you're going to keep track of that. But there's all kinds of ways that you could create a product, give somebody access to something using HighLevel or in HighLevel or whatever, but not be taking advantage of those capabilities.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for the question. Thanks for being here. Let's see here. Next question. Right, so Mike, I updated the question from last week about the opt-in rate for my foot in the door offer. You can take a look whenever you have a chance. Doesn't need to be now. Let's go ahead and jump over there real quick, Horacio. Let me just take a look. And was that in the moguls? Yeah, cool. Let me just take a look at it real quick here. Oh man, we got some videos in there now. Awesome. Horacio, so because there's videos in there, I want to make sure I watch those and give them proper attention and stuff. So, and I will do that after this call, just to make sure I'm, like I said, given that it's proper. Horacio says, I call this my stupid tax. Somebody in the company has to solve intractable problems every day, problems that stop most people. Success or failure, often in business building, is often just a question of whether we quit or not. Well said, Harry. Absolutely. And I think that there's some really important lessons that go along with that, which is, one, is the size of the problems you can handle determines the size of your success. And, I've seen and used that quote before, where it's, essentially, God, give me bigger problems, right? Because that's reality. I mean, the reason why Elon Musk can build the companies he can build, and multiple companies and all that type of stuff, is obviously he can handle huge problems, crazy amounts of pressure, not just for one company, but multiple companies at a time, while trying to solve technical challenges that other people have said are impossible, right? He can handle problems. Man, I mean, can that guy handle problems, right? That's what makes what he's doing possible. If I can't handle those same degree of problems, then those results are not possible. So yes, that is the job of an entrepreneur, is to be able to handle those problems, right? That's very much what you are doing. And success or failure every day, oftentimes, is just a matter of whether we quit or not. It's almost the entire thing. And I say almost because obviously, if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to adapt, then just beating your head against the wall doesn't make sense. But assuming that you are, you're human, so you have some intelligence, and you don't like pain and you like pleasure, then you're going to make adjustments along the way and learn and grow and do things differently. Then yeah, I mean, it really is pretty much just a matter of not quitting. One of the things I'm most grateful for, when I started my very first business, and didn't know anything, and started this business with 3 business partners, and pretty quickly realized, hey, 2 of these guys, I'm not so sure, like, ethically and that type of thing. I was just like, I'm not sure this is a good fit. We were dead broke, had built the business up to finally have some cash in it. 2 of us were on a job for some customers in Southern California. This is when I was living in Northern California. So we had driven down. I mean, we were broke. So we were like, sharing like the cheapest hotel rooms, eating at Taco Bell, like, just anything to get by. But we finally had cash for the first time. And I went to fill up the gas tank in the car, and I managed the books. I had the company credit card, all that stuff. So I knew we had cash. So I went to fill up the gas tank, got declined. My heart immediately sunk. I was like, wait a minute, I know there's money. Like, what's going on? And the other two guys, while the two of us were out of town, the other two had walked into the bank and emptied the bank account and took off. And it caused me so much stress that I thought I was going to die. I mean, literally. It was like, I was about to get married. I was broker than broke. This was like, it just felt like the world was coming to an end. And I decided right there, like within 48 hours kind of thing, I had decided, okay, either this is the type of problem that a sensible person quits and goes and gets a job, or I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm never going to question it again. I'm never going to question, can I get through hard shit again? I'm just going to make this decision once right now. I heard that it was a Jim Rohn quote that was going in my head, where Jim Rohn had this quote, and I'm not saying it right. I'm just going to paraphrase it here, but he said that one of the best things that you can ever do for yourself is when you're confronted with these hard decisions, that you just make the decision once. You never go back and second guess it and, cause yourself anxiety about it or whatever. You just make the decision once. And I decided right there on the spot. I was like, I'm just going to make this decision once. I'm either going to go get a job, totally sensible, pay off these debts, or I'm going to stay and I'm going to do this. And decided to stay and do this and just never question it ever again since then. I never, ever, ever have questioned ever again since then, even when stuff has gotten real rough. Is this the time that I, throw in the towel and go get a job? It just doesn't even calculate in my brain, for better or worse, right? But I think that it's a requirement. It just really is. AT says, I gave my first pitch yesterday. I thought I'd be nervous, but it was just a conversation. They said yes after the beginning of next month. What prep work can I do ahead of time while on the $97 plan? AT, I love it. Congratulations. That is awesome. And I love that it was just a conversation. I love that that's how it went, because that is exactly what it should feel like. It shouldn't feel like you're having to give a pitch. It should feel like, am I finding the right person or business that I can add value to? And are they the right fit also to work with me, that it's good for my business too? And if that's the case, fantastic, right? So what can you do? I love this second question. What prep work can I do ahead of time while on the $97 plan? Okay. AT, so on the $97 plan, you get 2 sub accounts, right? So in between now and then, I would, if you have not already done this, set up a sub account. Set up a dummy one first. Don't assume it's going to be this customer's account. Like, just set up a dummy one and just give yourself like a week of this time period to just like load in some snapshots in there, mess around with it, just understand how it's all just kind of working. Just make sure you're super comfortable. Set up user permissions, test those user permissions, log in as a user, right? To see what is their experience when you set the permissions at this level and they log in. What's the difference between that and somebody else who you've set the permissions at a different level? Just get super comfortable understanding the system like that, so that you're going to have that confidence. And then I would use the rest of the time to then actually do the surge, right? So in my surge to SaaS, do the surge. So actually set up this customer account the way that you believe it needs to be set up, and configure the custom values to their actual business. Customize whatever email campaigns that you're going to put in there for them to their actual business. Load in the FAQs for their actual business into the AI chat. Do all of this in advance. Okay. And again, depending upon what you sold them, of course, but do those things in advance. so that the day that you go to say, hey, look, here it is, that you've got it, maybe not entirely complete, but you've got it very close to complete, so that you know that what you're handing over on day one is valuable, right? And that you can walk them through, hey, here's everything that's here and how to use it. So use that time to get that done. These first handful of customers that you get, as you go through that process, everything takes a little bit longer. Everything feels a little more intimidating and stressful and stuff. So the fact that you've got some time, to do that, then you can take advantage of that. Okay. Let's see here. Stephen Murphy says, and congrats again, AT. Can HighLevel be used to manage and approve client projects? I'd like to offer a flat rate short form editing service and have the client upload the file, manage, and get client approval. Stephen, the only like kind of project approval process that I'm aware of like that at all is specific to social media. So like in the social media system in HighLevel, it's got the ability to like create the content, load the content, and then have to have it reviewed by somebody else before it can actually be used. So that's the only capability I know of inside of HighLevel that's like that. So that, I mean, when you're saying your short form editing service, if that's short form editing of social content, which I assume it could be, and it's a format that you could load into HighLevel's social media management system, then I think that you could do that. Yes. So let me go to their San Diego real quick, because I do social posting out of there, so we can just kind of take a look real quick. So let me share this screen. So here is in social media inside of HighLevel. I actually just started using this, and it's actually, I was super happy with HighLevel in this. I'm always super happy with HighLevel, but I always get surprised in pleasant ways, and this was one of them just recently, because the social tools that I've been using for posting, I've been using for years and years and years, the same ones. I use Later, I use Buffer, and then I use the actual business suite, Meta Business Suite. And just recently, for whatever reason, Meta Business Suite and Buffer both were having problems that I couldn't get them to post to their San Diego social media, and specifically on Facebook. And I was like, what the heck's going on? So hopped into HighLevel, and of course, there you go. It took me 2 seconds to have it set up, and off to the races, and now posting through HighLevel. So that was a really nice not surprise, because I knew the capabilities were there, but like I said, I hadn't started using them yet, and it was a relief. So I pick Facebook here, put in my post, go to advanced options. Is that it? No, go to, all right, here, send post for approval. Send for approval first within your agency or organization. Okay, so you hit that, you choose when it needs to get approved, who the approver is. You can add a note, schedule and send for approval. That's pretty dang slick. I like that. So that's the capability. Yeah, absolutely, Stephen. Awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, Harry says it is the job. Exactly. AT says, thanks everyone. It's different because I really believed in the system. I wasn't selling. I was just sharing something of value with no obligation, and not that needy feeling that they must say yes. I love that, AT. That is absolutely the right approach. And clearly it worked out, which is fantastic. Cool. Let's see here. I don't see any other questions in the comments. So if you have any other questions, type them in. I'm going to go back over here to our community and take a look at cool. Let's see here. FYI, the main downside to the social approval process is actually approving them from the approver side. It gets cumbersome unless you review them quickly as they come in. Oh, because you're saying that there could be a lot of them. Got it. And you're saying that they're supposed to be simplifying the approval. Cool. I'm sure I'm sure that's great feedback for them to hear, and they will take that into account because yeah, I'm sure if you've got a bunch of stuff going on, that could be brutal. There's a couple of areas like that in HighLevel where, like as an example, for me on the mobile app, I have to get really smart about using the kind of filters and stuff like that on what's actually coming into the mobile app, what I see when I go in the view, or else it's useless to me because there's so much stuff. Like there's San Diego, our media business. I mean, we get, hundreds of messages on Instagram every day. And so it can just the volume can just get really overwhelming. The cool thing is those filters, can really work or do really work. And so you just got to make sure though that you set them up properly. And I wonder if, they'll build something kind of the equivalent into that approval process. Eddie says by specific house address. I'm not sure. Is that out of order maybe? How can you make multiple opportunities under the same phone number? If plumbers get multiple jobs from one contractor and they are different businesses, is there a easy way to filter them by specific house address? Maybe you have some other suggestions. Okay. How can you make multiple opportunities under the same phone number? If plumbers get multiple jobs from one contractor and they're different addresses. Okay. So let's just play around with this a little bit to see exactly what the capabilities are. So if you go into opportunities and you go to here and you do a new opportunity and you've got contact name, phone number. So in this case, so the contact name and phone number would be the contractor that the plumber is working with. And so what you're saying is then though that the actual house associated with that contractor would be a different. So I think that there's two ways that you could do this. You could just, create an opportunity name that has the name, of the actual home or, whatever that you're working on, the name of the customer that you're actually doing the work for, or maybe you put in the address, at least the street address, something like that in here, or the phone number of the actual, end customer that you're doing the work for. You could then, of course, just like go into here and you could put, notes and things like that, but that starts to get a little ugly. I think that the other option that I would probably do is I would consider what I would do is treat each actual individual job, right? The actual, the end home that you're going to do work for, I would set that up as a contact and then create an opportunity for that contact. And then for this opportunity source right here, I would essentially tag back to the contractor who I'm doing that work for. So that way I would have the tie back to, oh shit. Sorry, guys. Oh my goodness. Let's start it all over again real quick. Okay. So if I fire up an opportunity and this is the contractor information here, right? right here in the opportunity names where I was saying you could put identifiers for the actual end customer right here. So you could put their street address, you could put their phone number, that type of stuff in here. So that way it's associated with the contractor, but each opportunity has its own unique identifier. Or the other way, which I think I would like better, is that you could create each end job as its own contact inside of the system. So the contact name and, and phone number and address and all that stuff of the actual job that you're doing. And then down here in opportunity source, you could put the name of the contractor that is the actual source of the job. So that way, all of the opportunities that you have that are associated with that opportunity source, you could, essentially search back to. Okay. So that is, I think that this is the better approach personally, is to do it this way, where you set up each individual contact as a contact in the system and then just tie it back to the contractor. But I think there's some pros and cons to doing it. And, you could certainly, I think it will largely come down to like how much information does that plumber want to capture and keep and things like that for each individual home or whatever that they're going and doing work on. Because if you set it up as its own contact, then you're going to be able to keep much more organized information about that specific house. So if the plumber wanted to keep good notes about, the previous jobs that they've done for that customer, for that house, hey, here's a record of the number of times we've been out to this house and the things that we've done and all that, then, you could put that, you would want to put that then as its own contact in the system. So you could take full advantage of all the capabilities of tracking that information associated with the contact. Okay. Let's hear. At 50 plus, you have to go all the way to 50. Oh yeah. AT, what tips do you have for creating content for your target audience that doesn't attract an audience of web designers or agencies? I mean, I think AT, ideally, you would write it specifically to the niche of who you want to sell to. So, to restaurants, to plumbers, to chiropractors, that type of thing. I think otherwise there's not a lot that you can do. I mean, because if you're targeting just small businesses and you're putting marketing topics on there and stuff like that, you're going to get web designers and agencies for sure. It's just going to happen. Sure, it's in your sales programs. I haven't been through much of them yet. Best way to upsell your clients once you get them on the MVP. For example, I sell websites and go HighLevel. Yep. I know you always say just give them the whole program, but when the offer is building the site and a simple CRM, I want to be able to upsell them to the full. Yes, of course. So what you would do is you would sell them on that initial offer. I love the website as the initial offer, and I love that you're saying that it's going to include website, chat, phone system in the intro offer, because what you're doing now is in that intro offer, even though it's a website, really what you're exposing them to is this is a website, but it's a part of a complete marketing system. Okay. And that's the pitch. Website is one component of a complete marketing system. Here are these other components. Once you have them set up successfully and they've experienced the value of your services, and that's the key, is that you want to get them to experience the value of their services so that they know, oh, wow, this is, you guys do professional work. This is awesome. We love it. Then you say, great, well, remember how we talked about that this is one component of a successful overall marketing system for your business. I'd love to hop on a quick call and talk to you about the other components and show you how we can help you with those other components as well. And then you have that upsell conversation with them. Okay. So it's as simple as that. And when it comes to the comment that you made about giving them the full system. So what I am suggesting then is that when you set up the website and they've got access to phone number, they've got access to SMS, things like that, they are going to, well, not necessarily, but I'm assuming in most cases, they are then going to have access inside of HighLevel as well, right? They're going to have access to the conversations tab, right? Because they're going to be getting communication in through that, through from the AI chat and from SMS and things like that. So when they are inside of HighLevel now, they're going to have visibility to some extent to all of the other capabilities, right? And so you very well could, if you have packaged your structures properly. And Ryan, you want to hop on here real quick? I see you back there. How are you, sir?
Let me close my YouTube.
Sure.
Okay. I just figured while you're answering here, maybe I'll just join.
Awesome. So I was just going to say is if you structure that initial website package properly, then it will have limits to the amount of SMS and phone and all that type of stuff that they get. And when they go beyond that, they would automatically either be getting charged or upgraded at that point anyway, right? So it's a very nice, just natural upsell into, hey, right now you're paying $97 a month and you're getting all this. You're now starting to use enough SMS credits and things like that you're going to start being charged more. If you upgrade to our $297 a month, not only do you get many more credits, so you wouldn't be paying extra for those charges yet, but you'd also get many more features of the complete system. And I can walk you through what those are. So that just has a nice, that has a real nice upgrade path to it without it being a real complex pitch at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, so I'm by trade, I'm a web developer, but I mean, I've transitioned obviously more into the marketing space for more of that recurring revenue. And I mean, I got a lot of clients just doing basic websites, but I hadn't been using GHL. And now that I've been using GHL for the last year and a half, I mean, I've come to the conclusion that a client doesn't need a super flashy, amazing website. They need a functional, good website, and GHL can do that. And then I don't have to pay for hosting and everything else.
Yeah.
And of course, if I need to integrate some custom stuff, I can. But that's kind of where my niche is anyway. Now, I'm still trying to figure out if I like break this down into smaller niches and like still focus on, like chiropractor websites or whatever. Right. But I guess that was kind of the thought in that upgrade. Now, would you recommend? So I guess I was figuring that I would include like $10 of chat credits or phone credits or whatever. What would be your thought on? So like, I think the pricing I was just throwing together as a simple startup would be 97, 197, 297, right? And they can kind of go from the entry to a little bit more complete to the full. And then each one would probably have some credits. Do you know too, on the credits, like when you turn that on, I think there was two options. Is it basically one of them like deducts 10, like say put $10, does one of them deduct $10 and just put it in their account and it keeps, because it was like an accrual system, you can either have it on or not. So like if I put it on $10 but not accrual, like they can just use it if they use it. That way it's also encouraging them to use it. If you put that $10 on but you don't put the accrual thing on, does it charge you up front like the $10 each month, or does it just like kind of tentatively give them $10 if they use it, and if they don't, then it doesn't?
Well, it's not. So it's you that they're charging,
right, in the wallet. But it was
yeah.
kind of looked like one option, it's going to charge the client and give them $10 every month, and the other option was like it will give them up to $10 if they actually use it. Just so that I was trying to figure out how does that work from my budgeting standpoint, and like how that would work in our offer. Do you know?
It's a good question. I'm not 100% sure because I use so much of it that I get charged all the time. So I'm not sure.
That's
I'm not sure which are tied to. Yeah,
to try to like follow
which are tied to which anymore. But I think that you will not get charged until you use them, and then you will get re-upped. So they'll hit your credit card and say, $10 more bucks getting added.
Because if I was to go over into my subscription thing, it showed it was really that one option. I dug through the friggin' high-level articles and was looking at everything, trying to figure it out. But there's an option when you go into your SaaS configurator that says under the trials and credits, it's basically one-time credit, recurring credits. Wait a second, is that? Hold on, let me jump up to the other one. Now, if that's the case, then now I'm actually thinking that, okay, there it is. If you click recurring credits, then it's that extra little slider, roll over unused. So I feel like if you turn that slider on, then it's just going to give them $10 every month. It's going to charge, my wallet $10 and they're just going to keep going, which I'm like, well, that's just like giving them a whole bunch. And if they're not using them, I don't want them to get it. Like, I want you to use
that's going to pile them up. So if you give them 10 and they don't use it, and then the next month they will have 20 total to use. And if they don't use those, then the next month they will have 30 total to use. So they will be accruing a bank of them. Correct.
Yeah.
If you want them to expire each month though, then you would leave this off. And if they don't use the 10 during that month, they're gone. And the next month they have $10 worth of credits again.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
The one other question I had in there was on those features. What I couldn't find it anywhere in the articles is So what is CRM like? That's like, hey, you can get high-level. Like that's like such an encompassing word. If you go to the features tab, there's one box that you can turn on or off called CRM, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to test it. But I'm like, what does that even mean? What's CRM? Does that mean like they can't access? Like if you don't put that on there, they can't even log in.
It's terrible. It is. I mean, HighLevel is its least developed capability is as a CRM in the first place. So the fact that they call it a CRM versus like a marketing automation system or something like that, it kills me. And it positions them incorrectly in the marketplace because people compare them to actual CRMs, which is dangerous because they don't really stack up that well compared to actual CRMs. So, but where are you referring to that?
Right,
right here.
You got it clicked. Yeah, it's like literally a feature. I'm like, what is that? Everything? Like that's like an everything box. So I guess I have to
everything box, isn't it? Because I think that is because I don't see contacts are listed anywhere. So I think that's going to be contacts.
Right. Like that's where I was kind of thinking, like, would they not be able to access like contacts and maybe communication if you don't have that on? Or
gosh, I don't. That's a good question. I've never.
That's a loaded feature box.
Yeah. That is,
and it's not in there. It's not in their stuff anywhere. So I guess I can reach out and wait on hold, and then have somebody on support be like, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, or you just set it up. You just set it up and test it, right? That's to me that's the answer with everything with HighLevel, because honestly, if you talk to support, I mean, 97% chance you're going to reach somebody that does not have that answer. I mean, if it's not documented in FAQs and stuff that you can find, that support person is probably not going to have that answer. So exactly. they might tell you an answer.
Good chance it's wrong.
Yeah. And I tell everybody, this is actually like, I know people get frustrated about this with HighLevel, but this is when we talk about the price to pay at the beginning of this call, this is the price to pay for having an early mover advantage in the marketplace with HighLevel. Because just like any technology, right? In Silicon Valley, when they roll out any technology, the early adopters are the people who will, just like when cryptocurrency first came out, right? Before Coinbase was there. And it's like, how in the world did you use Bitcoin? Well, you had to be one of those people that was like, yeah, I'm going to understand the technology behind this, and I'm going to get this encryption key, and I'm going to put it, on this thing and save it under my, bed and all this stuff. I mean, like, you had to be really into this stuff, but there's always a market of people who are willing to get in on that very early side and pay that price. User interface is the thing that then takes a raw technology and makes it a mass market technology. It's user interface, right? The mass market needs Coinbase to buy Bitcoin because it makes it nice and easy. I just go in there and go buy Bitcoin, and now I have Bitcoin in an account, and whatever, right? So it's the same thing with HighLevel. When we have to go through these clunky testing things, you have an information advantage and a time advantage ahead of the marketplace by being willing to do that. And it may be a pain in the neck, but that's the way you've got to look at it. I know that's the way I look at it. And I just think, it gives you an advantage over the people who are going to wait until the user interface is perfect. And I can just go in there and click everything and turn everything on. Right. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one last question. So on my site that I've been building out around this offer, and I'm just trying to keep it like as simple as possible. I'm not going into all the features. I'm not really going into any of the extra. I'm like, you're not going to find out about that until you already have the offer. Really.
Yep.
It's kind of the thought. So the one feature that I do struggle, like I use all of these on a lot of clients, and they're all super effective. But the missed call text back, I still have like sometimes a little. So I've been using the full featured phone system a lot more than just the missed call text back, because like I've implemented that for some service companies, larger service companies in the area, and like they had one phone number before. Maybe they bought an extra number from somebody for reach or something like that. And like, I'm like, are you tracking this stuff? And they're like, yeah. Like our girls, when they answer, they're like, where'd you find us?
Yeah.
We're in 2024, guys. Like, seriously?
There's data out there we could use.
Yeah. And I've implemented it. I got like 10 numbers for this one client. And I can give them so much like insight into how our marketing dollars are working that like I see a ton of value in the phone system, especially with the new IVR, because a lot of people don't know that that's even available for small business. And when you look into it, a lot of the IVRs are like the grasshoppers, call rails, like they're expensive. For just that feature. So what would you, I guess, say? I'm leaning towards saying like missed call text back as part of our phone system, but like more having the website and the chat and the phone system. But I'm still trying to think through like how do I convey that correctly? So I guess, would you say stay with the missed call because it's a tighter thing, or maybe utilize and try to sell the phone system?
I think, man, this is the first time I've had this conversation and thought about this. And I think it's awesome that you're using, I don't know that many people that are using the full phone system capabilities yet.
It's pretty intimidating, I feel like, to a lot of people, but once you get in it, it's like,
well, exactly. So you've got your information advantage now, right? So I think it is a killer offer for all the reasons that you mentioned. And I think that with the website, I think that the danger is you just add a layer of complexity to the offer that could really bring things to a slowdown. Right. So I would probably keep it to, so the way I refer to it is we'll provision you a smart number is what I call it. And well, what the heck is a smart number? Well, it's a smart number takes advantage of all this amazing, data technology that we have now, so that we can do tracking of marketing and marketing campaigns, and we can do things like the missed call text back, so we can bring these other capabilities to you. And that, like, I think that conversation is like a deep enough conversation. Yeah. And then as part of your upsell track, then saying, hey, look, let's talk about the other things that we can do for you. And one of them is we can take that smart number, you see the benefits of that now. Well, what if we had smart numbers for everybody in your team and they're all connected like a phone system? And, we can really take advantage of all the capabilities of that. I think that's an awesome offer and an awesome upsell, but I think I would keep it for the upsell, or market it as a standalone foot in the door offer, which I think it'll be a killer standalone foot in the door offer here, because again, price is crazy.
Right. And I mean, the beautiful part of it is if you get the phone, that's, I've considered that, like just kind of marketing a phone system, just because I see so much value to it. I'm like, well, I'm a web guy, but I'm like, yeah, we could just do a phone system. But the primary pushback I've seen to it is that everyone is hesitant. Like all these business owners that aren't techie, they're all hesitant to switch their phone number or anything to do with that, because they're just like, oh, phone numbers. Like I've had that number for 46 years. Everyone knows my phone number. And you're like, no, nobody knows your phone number. Not a person.
I literally just like want to bury my face in my hands when somebody says this to me and just go, what world are we living in?
Yeah.
unless your phone number is 1-800-GOT-JUNK, nobody knows your damn phone number. There's not a person on this planet that knows your phone number. And by the way, keep your effing phone number.
Right.
Keep
You can port it. I can port it right over. It's easy.
Yeah. Or just I won't even touch it.
Or you keep it. Yeah.
Just don't even touch it. Guess what? There's still going to be people that call that phone number. Awesome. Keep it. You can keep doing that exactly the way you're doing that with those people. With this number, we'll start using this on all of your marketing activity so we can actually really track results for you and get good data for you and do these other capabilities. But heck, if you want to use that number, every other place that you're using that number, just keep on using that number. We don't have to change a dang thing.
Absolutely.
That's the answer. That's the answer. And if they are still fighting you on that, you're kind of like, ooh, okay, you know what? Forget phones, anything. Just forget I ever even mentioned it, because like they've got their head in the sand on.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I will just say for everybody that, or anybody that's listening, is just like honestly, the biggest part of the phone system that I see is it's the most sticky part of the whole entire platform. Once they start using the phone and they start using the conversations, they start using the app, they're now engaged in using it, and they don't want to leave, because that's their phone system and it's all integrated. So
thank you so much for saying that. And you're going to give me an opportunity right now to get on my soapbox for 1 second. Okay. I hope that everybody who has an opportunity to listen to what Ryan just said right there will stop and pause and just think for a moment about two concepts. One, that if you are selling, if you position yourself in your mind, and then also position yourself in the marketplace as a provider of business systems for these small businesses. Okay. So think a little bit bigger than just marketing. Okay. So right now, Ryan's got a great foot in the door. He's got a lot of experience with web design, all that type of stuff, but he's already thinking systems. Okay. There's nothing about web design that says he should be selling phone systems, but he's already going, hey, yeah, but wait a minute. This website is a great foot in the door, but it needs these other technologies to be as effective as it should be. And now I can provide those. And guess what? Man, phone systems are super sticky. They got great margin, all that stuff. If you position yourself as that provider of systems and you think like that, there are so many opportunities that HighLevel presents to you that are going to be these long-term sticky services that are going to be crazy automation that will just earn you money for years and years and years to come. The best companies in the world, this is the stuff they sell. They don't sell design. They sell, sign up for this thing that will be running in the background for $150 a month for the rest of eternity at 85% margins, and we'll never have a support call from you, nothing, because they're just working in the background, right? Those are the best companies. And with HighLevel, it's giving you the opportunity to think that way and approach it that way. And then the second thing that I want to say related to that is, if you think for a second that HighLevel is done with the expansion of those systems that they're going to try and eat in the marketplace, right? They started with funnels and email and SMS, and now they're already at phone systems. If you think that there's any intention that this is going to stop at phone systems, when they can be doing payment processing, when they could be doing payroll processing, when they could be running the accounting system, I mean, trust me when I tell you that their ambitions are to eat everything in the small business marketplace and have you as the distributor of that capability. And you then benefit from that capability. And when you consider just payment processing alone is a standalone business that is crazy lucrative. Look at the Stripes and things like that of the world, and all the credit card processing companies that have been out there forever, pre-Stripe, right? Those businesses are massive cash cows, and they get massive valuations when they go out and sell in the marketplace, because they're like completely passive, huge margin, right? If you don't think for a second that high level is going to go, if you think that they're just going to sit and not capitalize on those opportunities, you're crazy, which means those are going to be your opportunities. So if you just take that long-term perspective and that slightly broader perspective, you will realize how big this opportunity is for you to create a lifestyle business that is just sick. I mean, it's crazy. So appreciate the opportunity to get on my soapbox for a second there.
There you go. No, you're back. You just disconnected for a second. No problem. Okay, one super quick last, and this is kind of like you pick which one.
Yep.
Do you feel like, I guess I'm leaning towards everybody, like, I don't know how much information to present them about pricing and stuff, but like running ads, getting people to the site, seeing the simple offer, would you recommend trying to take them straight through a booking funnel to like talk with me, or through, kind of providing the basic package, $97, and like just kind of building like a simple, website in 5 days thing, and we'll build it for you and go that route?
The answer is both.
Both.
Absolutely.
So have it on there and let them register themselves, but also if they want to book, let them book.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going to get some people that will just come on there and do it, especially over time as you build up more reputation. You've got a bunch of customers' websites that are out there that people can see and go, oh yeah, look at all these websites. These are great sites. You're going to get a bunch of people that then will develop the confidence, just come in, especially when it's $97. They'll just come in and put in a credit card and sign up. Right. So, you will get more and more of that over time. You will always sell more. And in the short term in particular, you will sell more in the near term before you have as much of that case study of history out there of proof. You will have much more success selling more if you have the option for somebody to book a time on your calendar and talk to you, or, whatever it is as well. So you want to do both.
Okay. Great.
Cool.
Well, thank you for your time. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Let's hear Dawson, my man. How you doing, sir?
Good. How about you?
Good. You got some updates for us?
Yeah, just some small ones, I guess. Just trying to keep engaged in the entrepreneurship journey here.
I love it. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So right now, I guess I'm just trying to kind of save up and also move at the same time, like kind of get my own place. So I'm just kind of in the middle spot. I'm 25, graduated from university. I had a few different jobs, and now I'm just kind of I'm just making content right now and trying to make it happen.
That's awesome. That's good. My advice related to that, what you just said, is just do everything that you possibly can to keep your overhead as low as possible, right? Just so that you can, you can survive on very little revenue and income, right? Because there'll be that period of time where you're just hustling and trying to make it work and the revenue is lean. If your costs are also super lean, you give yourself a lot more survivability than somebody who, starts getting a little bit, a little bit more ambitious on the cost side of things. They get the bigger apartment, the better car, they get all that type of stuff. Like, try your very best to avoid the trappings of all that stuff for as long as you can.
Yeah, I have a lot of discipline. I'm really good at managing money and
Awesome.
And finding value. I've developed the skill to find value. I graduated from Brock University. I have a business communication degree. Mostly took marketing classes and yeah. So I heard a quote yesterday. Someone said, "You can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want." So it's just having the discipline to make sacrifices and to focus on the things that will move me forward.
I like that. And you can't have everything that you want at the same time, right? So yeah, that's awesome. I love it, man. Yeah, it sounds like just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
So my question was, if I appear on someone's YouTube channel, I appeared on a music channel last week. Mm-hmm. Is it possible to clip it for more than 2 minutes? Then like it usually allows you to clip it for 2 minutes. If I can like clip it for maybe the 15 minutes I was on and put it onto my own channel with their permission, of course.
With their permission, yeah. I mean, the easy way to do that would be there's all kinds of just free YouTube downloaders. So if you just search for a YouTube downloader, then you can literally just pull the entire video down and then just put it into an editor and edit your section out of it. Right. So that would be the easy way to do that. In terms of the built-in clipping tools, I'm not totally familiar with what the limits are. It sounds like it's a 2-minute limit. Then it sounds like that is what it is. But if you just download the video, you can clip whatever the heck you want.
Okay, is there a YouTube downloader that you use, or that's a good one?
I don't off the top of my head. I just know, if literally you just do a good old search for YouTube downloaders, you're going to have a couple of options that come up. But there isn't a brand name one that I go, yeah, that's the best one.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do that. I'll check a couple reviews, and I'll also ask the host of the show to try to make that happen.
Awesome. Are you, Dawson? Are you in our Circle community?
No, I'm not yet. No.
Okay, if you get in that and you just post a question about the YouTube downloader, I do know a resource that I'm familiar with. It's just escaped me off the top of my head, but I'll find it, where they recommended a couple of specific YouTube downloaders as the ones that they said were the best, and it sounds like they do this in very high volume. So I can track those down and share them with you.
Great. Okay, I'll find a way to sign up there and join the Circle community. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. Just a quick update, and yeah.
I love it. Awesome. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Great.
Thank you, sir. How are you, sir?
Okay. Yep. Thank you. Just a quick update, and yeah.
I got you on mute for a second, Kai, because you're catching up with me. All right, you ready? I'm going to unmute you. You good?
Uh-oh. Shoot, sorry, Mike, hold on.
Can you hear me?
Dude, why does this not work? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
What is going on? Sorry, I'm gonna enter and come right back. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm sorry. 1 sec.
All right. While he's figuring that out, we're going to answer some questions here. Would be a quick pitch when cold calling once they give you the go ahead to pitch regarding missed call text back. A lot of times they say they don't miss calls. Maybe I'm framing the questions so they are giving me that answer. Yeah, Eddie, I would just go straight to the assumption that they do miss calls, and I would just do some quick research about. I'm sure. I mean, you can easily find the stats about the average number of calls that a small business misses, right? And then I bet you there's some research out there about the number of calls that they miss, even when they don't think that they're missing calls. There's probably something like that out there. So I would look for those stats, but I would just go right into the pitch. Say, hey, statistics show typical small business misses X percentage of inbound calls. Obviously, that's very costly for you. I have a very simple solution that's very affordable and will get you back in contact with, 75% of those missed calls. Is that something that you'd be open to seeing a demonstration about or something like that, right? I would just go straight into it like that. You're going to get objections. It's a cold call. You're going to get people that are just brushing you off and saying no. So cold calling, you always have to have your brush off handles ready. Okay. So the first brush off handle you need to have is we don't miss calls. And so my first response to that would be something like, hey, you know what? That's exactly what some of my best customers thought as well before they signed up for our service, and they got the really good data to see what was actually happening with their phone calls. I would love to show you, just go right back into my pitch. I'd love to show you a demonstration of how our system provides you that data so you have real clarity. So you're just handling the brush off, which the brush off formula is you agree with them, you repitch, and then you ask for the next step again. Okay. So always have that brush off ready to go. And it sounds like the second brush off you need to have is I don't want to change my number. Yeah. And again, with that one, you just never argue with them. Hey, absolutely. I get it. I would never ask you to change your number. Don't change a thing with that number. Okay. you can still have that one being used, no problem. And then you just keep on moving with the pitch and keep on moving with the conversation. We're going to set up a brand new number. This number is going to be used, specifically in these circumstances. You're going to see how powerful it is. Yeah, but keep your number, keep using your current number. If at some point you want to forward that number to this new number, we can do that, but you just don't want to argue with them on it. You know what I mean? Just agree, restate your value proposition, and ask for the next step forward. Okay. Clark says, I realize the textbook answer to this is no. I have a specific reason for wanting to try this, and it is only possible if my sales letter is text in a series of images. My sales letter is text in a series of images. Bad idea or a terrible idea? Clark, I don't know. I have no idea. Test. That is the only answer. That's interesting. I'm not sure on that one. A.T. Williams, could you expand on phone system? Yeah, you can offer with HighLevel now. You can offer an IVR system. So like Ring Central, the phone system for small businesses, where you can set up, your employees with 7 phone numbers, and then somebody calls into the first number and it says, would you like to route to employee number 1, employee number 2, click this, click that. You can set all of that up in HighLevel. That's a capability inside of HighLevel now. Phone system, but trackable in Go HighLevel. Yep. So you can do that whole thing in there. Let's see here. What do you offer with your website in 5 days? What do you offer with your website? 5 days. Simple site setup, 5 pages. You utilize one of the templates, copy over the content from their site. Exactly. Yeah. And AT, I think that we talked about this before, where I told you, I hope that I can get you away from your custom web design agency, tendencies. And Ryan thinks about this exactly right, which is you just have a bunch of good templates ready to go. You very quickly put up a V1 for them so that they can see, oh, wow, look at this nice start to the website. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be live yet, but you can show it to them and say, hey, look, we've got a really good start on your new website. Now we just need to go through final revisions, like that type of thing. You want to turn it into a factory, a website making factory, not a custom design thing. Okay. Pull tube. Dawson Ryan says pull tube. So check that out. Okay. Who says live for the nose? That's right. Or you get yourself a good VA like mine that does it for you. Yeah, absolutely. Nice. There you go. Hi, let's try it again. My man.
Hey, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah. How's it going?
Dude, I just love that shit just breaks randomly. I don't even understand. Been
What's
working all
going
day
on?
and then not much, man. Not much. I'm just back from a kind of like a long break, so I'm just getting back into things. But dude, I don't understand. I can't sit on one more no-showed call, man. I really don't know what to do. Like staring myself back at the screen when they just don't show up makes me want to jump off a fucking cliff. It's been like 10 in a row. They're coming in.
Really?
Dude, these guys are watching these guys are literally coming in off ads, clicking my funnel, watching some of my VSL, and then booking a call. And these people still just don't show up. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, man. I don't even care if I close. Just show up to the call. I'll mess up the sales call all day to show up.
But who are you selling to?
Contractors, man. So pretty freaking brutal. Dude, I was gonna ask you that too, man. I really might switch niches. Like I know every niche has their problems, but these guys, dude, I swear to God, man. I swear to God. Every day.
You're texting them like crazy ahead of the call, and
yeah. So there's
and are they just not even responding to those?
They're not even responding. They're like at the very best, I'll get lucky and I'll just spam call them like 2 or 3 times, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll be there. And then half the time, if I actually get in contact with them within 30 minutes, they'll actually come. And then sometimes they just be like, yeah, I'm there, and then they just don't show up. So I feel like that's probably a niche specific issue. I'm not sure.
Yes,
I don't know, man. Yeah,
because you're trying to get them on the call to do like a Zoom,
yeah. And these guys are coming from Facebook ads, by the way. They're coming from warm leads. They're going through a VSL, and then they're booking. And yeah,
I think it is niche. I think it is niche specific. Not to say that there aren't other niches that this would be a problem, but I do think it is a problem of the dynamics of the niche. I mean, these guys are generally not sitting around on computers.
No.
So I think that you've either got to adjust your sales process to be just a phone call,
yeah,
like forget trying to do screen shares and Zooms and things like that. Just try and get them on a call. And then I think your value proposition, your pitch, everything has just got to be dumbed down, super simple, making it really easy for them to just be like, hey, give me the money and you will get X and you'll have X in 7 days. Like it's just got to be like really brutally simple like that to start, to at least get the relationship with them and get that first transaction done with them. I think anything more than that, you're just really fighting the currents, because those guys.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys, man. Like, I have a really good friend. He's a real successful contractor, been a contractor for a long time. Dude still runs around with like a flip phone. Like it's like a it's like a Motorola like flip phone type of thing. There's no screen on it. He couldn't jump on Zoom, on his phone with you. He couldn't do that if his life depended on it. And he's not running around with a computer. And he's literally probably on a job during that scheduled time.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, and so you think, do you think just try to switch it, like test out, like trying to sell them on the phone, or just skip the whole Zoom thing in general?
That's what I would do.
All right, I'll test it out. Yeah, 'cause, dude, this is like, it's getting like ridiculous. I'm sitting here like, I'm all for working hard, dude, but I'm not for working hard when I'm just like, dude, there has to be a better way to do this,
Yeah, you don't want to beat your head against the wall. What are you trying to sell? What is the pitch?
So the pitch is website, like a functional website design. So it's website, the quote forms, everything linked up to automations, the chat widget linked up to automations, auto call text back, and then you're familiar with like the 5-star Google review funnel where it only lets you get 5-star reviews. That, and then we also have a VA going in and respond to all their Google reviews for them. So reputation management, website, foot in the door, 97 to 297. The 297 being like Yext and all that good stuff.
And you've got a stupid simple demo site ready to go?
Do I?
Yeah.
Like a demo site, like my own site, or
no? Okay. So here's what I would do is I would have like a sub account with a contractor website fully built out.
Yeah.
I mean, five different types of templates.
I got a bunch of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And then when you have a hot prospect, I would literally go in, update some custom values so the website is like their website, and then shoot them a link to it. Like literally, like just right there on the spot, just before they're cut, just as part of your sales process. Hey, look, man, look, here's what you need. You need a website, you need a review capture, you need all this type of stuff you don't have right now. It's costing you business. I'm going to show you how quickly I can get you all hooked up with this. Yeah. And then like literally send them a link so that they are looking at a website that's their website
with like their maybe their business name and their phone number or something.
Yeah. So that they can see it. So that they can see it and go, oh shit, yeah, you're right. I should have that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Here's what we're going to do to get you started. Obviously, this is not complete yet, but we'll get it complete here in the next 7 days. It'll be live. I just need $97. It's $97 a month. You get blah, 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 blah. Go. Like it's got to be like that simple.
Dude, I could literally have a VA just every single lead that comes in, just go customize the website real quick and just send it in a text.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I would just do and
dude, that's actually a really good idea.
And then you'll be able to just like automate a bunch of that, really you'll figure that out pretty quickly. But like, yes, just go all in on just making this super easy for them to see the value and say yes. Like Zoom calls with that market. Nope.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Because dude, I literally spent like all day yesterday like watching your like the newest framework you just came out with there was a 2-day boot camp. Like, dude, like I think I got this down now. Like it's taking me a minute, but I think I'm getting it. I'm like, bro, I can't even fucking pitch it because these guys don't show up. Like I can't even practice it,
And look, that's too much for this first step with these guys.
Yeah.
So what you should be doing is you should be putting that kind of content out into the world and speaking to contractors. And here's how contractors can grow. And here's why they're not growing. They don't have the systems to tackle these things, yada, yada. But so put all that content out there and you are going to get some contractors that are going to start coming to you, or they're going to start seeing the content and they will have a full conversation with you. Yeah. But the majority of contractors are just going to be in the mindset of, man, look, I'm here on a job. I saw what you were saying. That's interesting to me. What the hell do I need to do? And what just tell me what you're going to do for me and what I need to do. And it's like, here, take a look at this right now. You know, boom, 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 $97 a month. I'm going to send you a link. You can pay on that link, throw in your credit card. We're off to the races. We'll have your site live in 7 days.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, dude, that would be really
it's
easy to have a
gotta be-
VA do. Yeah, that'd be really
Yeah,
easy to have a VA do that.
because all of the talk about the R6 with that guy and that spot, that's just never going to happen.
Okay, dude, that makes me feel a lot better because I was like pitching this and I recorded one of my calls and I look back and I'm like, man, I feel like he was just confused. Like I really tried to dumb it down. Like I went dumber than even you went with like the R4, R6.
Yeah.
Like I really went dumb. Like
Yeah.
you still didn't get it.
You've got to I mean, this is exactly what foot in the door offers are for.
Yeah.
Right? Is to dumb it down, make it simple, get the first yes, so that they can start to see the full value proposition. Because and in certain markets and certain business owners, they're just in no place to listen to anything strategic, anything complicated, anything. They're just not in that mindset.
Yeah, dude. It really, I'm really considering switching niches. I mean, the good part of it is they seem like once I have them, like like I said, I took a month off and I had to get this surgery and like, dude, I was just sitting in bed recovering and like I'm just watching, you know, $3,800 in my bank account. I'm like, dude, this is sick. You know, like this is, I'm not doing shit. So that was cool, but yeah, man, it's I don't know. I'm guessing like the one upside of contractors is once you have them, they don't, because like they're not going to go deal with another company. They're just like, dude, you're my guy. Like here's my money. I don't even want to go deal with other shit. You know.
Totally. And if you get to the point where, so like with contractors, I mean, man, you've got to find a way to quickly pitch them and show them the value of like the text pay links and stuff like that in HighLevel, because those guys leave so much money on the table.
So much money.
They're so terrible about getting invoices out or collecting actual money or anything like that. If you can just show them, hey, look, man, I can add 20% to your collections in the next month. Here's how. And you show them, look, I got text to pay links. We can set those up for you. These invoices, we can send those up for you, and tap to pay on your phone. I can have all of those 3 things going within a week. You've now got 3 ways to collect cash that you aren't doing right now. Like contractors get that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, put more money in my pocket right away. Like that makes sense to me. I think like those types of things are the value propositions that you have to make to these guys to get them to perk up, pay attention, say yes. And then, you know, now you've at least got an opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know we have something scheduled later, so I was going to kind of go over that with you as well. But I guess the last question would be, I'm kind of getting the objection on the actual sales calls. Is like, dude, I like, oh, these guys. I'm really considering switching niches, dude. The amount of times that I've like just wanted to slap myself in the head on these sales calls, dude, is like, it's crazy. But they'll basically be like, I'll pitch them like the $97 website or something, or the $197, and they're just like, how fast am I going to see results? Like, how fast are people going to like start coming to the site? How, like, when am I getting my next job? It's like, I don't want to lie to them, but it's like, they're just like, they're in that singular mindset. Like, dude, I had this guy cancel a $97 website because it was too expensive. He was getting like 60 clicks on the website and like 70 calls a month off the website. It's like, I'm like, dude, like I'll have you, because he just didn't see the value. I'm like, dude, you have no idea how much money you just cost yourself. I just gave up, bro. I couldn't even, I didn't even try to chase him down. I was like, dude, this head in the sand, as you said earlier, you know?
Yeah. And say you can't fix stupid, right? So I mean,
oh my God, man.
This is a great recommendation from Jeff. Yeah, I hadn't had a chance to watch this training yet, Jeff, but I'm glad that you think it's worth checking out. I'm gonna check it out as well. It's on their YouTube channel. I know they just hosted this guy in a training session. So
this is a dumb question. What does FITD stand for?
Foot in the door websites.
Oh, foot in the door websites. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So just join changing a couple, like literally like how you said before, like custom value or something.
Yep.
Okay, dude, that's a really good idea, Mike. Honestly, because I can like have my VA just every single time a lead comes in, hey, Shanna, go in here, change this, send in a website link. Probably make sure it's optimized for mobile too. It's on the phone.
Oh, totally, absolutely, yeah. Just make sure you got a nice template that's all set up and ready to go.
Maybe one for each niche or something.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Let's
see here, and then.
Because when I went through your two-day boot camp, I was like, dude, this makes sense. Like, I could totally pitch it like that. It's just like these guys just don't get it.
Yeah, that's for Dawson. Dawson, go to that link right there, and you can get signed up through First Circle. LiveSpecial.com/community. Okay. And anybody else. That's how you get into our free online community.
Yeah, sorry. That last question is basically, what would you say to that objection? Like, how would you kind of handle that and go and try to bring the conversation back to, showing value for the website, showing value for the reviews, kind of going back, kind of bringing it back to that value conversation.
Are you talking about the guy who canceled the site when you can see?
No. He's dead. I gave up on that. I'm talking about like on the sales call when they're saying like, when am I going to start seeing results? Like, how is this going to bring me more customers? Like, what would you how would you frame that objection and kind of overcome that, I guess?
And are you offering with the website, you're offering the AI chat and the missed call text back and things like that?
Yeah, AI chat and then the functional quote forms that the customer gets notified right away. They get a new lead on their phone. It's a two-way thing, customer, them, everyone gets a new lead.
Yep. So what I would say to them is right now, you are missing out on opportunities because I know your business, you're super busy, you're out on jobs, you're engaged with doing work, talking to customers, all that type of stuff. There are people that are trying to reach you and trying to get a response from you. And I know this because I've worked with contractors. I also know this because I've been a customer of contractors. It's very hard to actually get a hold of you guys and get your attention and stuff. And that creates a lot of missed opportunity for you. With our smart number, with our AI chatbot, with us making sure that your citations are updated everywhere as part of this project and all that information is accurate, we're going to make sure that we are capturing those opportunities. So like I would just keep it to that and move on, right? Just keep the job moving forward.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I never miss a phone call. Never missed one. No. I get back to everyone.
Yeah. I mean, if you're having a conversation with somebody like that, again, my handle of that would be what I gave earlier, which, you know what, most of my best customers thought that as well, until I could actually show them the data from our smart number on the number of calls that are coming in, which ones they're missing and stuff like that. Is very, very eye-opening and will make you a lot more money when you actually have that data, and then just keep going forward with the pitch. Let me ask you right now, how are you getting information? How are you tracking information about the calls that are coming in? Are you able to, just keep it going? But look, one of the most important rules in selling to small businesses is don't waste your time trying to convince people who are non-believers. I mean, you will literally just spend your life banging your head against the wall because there are so many small business owners out there that are not competitive. They are not strategic. They are not able to get their head out of the sand. It's not your job to fix those people. You just can't.
I feel like I'd have no sales if I didn't try to do that, though, because it's just like a lot of these guys, I'm like trying to convince them,
I understand. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have your objection handles and of course respond to those things. I'm just saying that at a point, if the person doesn't go, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, you just got to know when to cut it. And I mean, you'll determine that with experience as to who's worth fighting that fight with. I have always said the number one factor in selling to small businesses that I've learned to filter for in my sales process is attitude. And when I can tell that they don't have the right attitude, I'm gone. And I'll just say it. Hey, Kai, look, it's been a good conversation. It seems to me, just based on our quick conversation here, that I don't think that you really value the marketing and the strategic importance of marketing at your business, which I totally get. I'm not going to try and waste my breath convincing you on that if that's your belief. I want to work with businesses that are really looking to apply this to their business for growth, and then do that. That's just a takeaway close, right? It's just, hey, I'm walking out of this deal. Now you need to be prepared to walk out of that deal. But what you will find is a lot of people will go, no, look, I get it. We need to be doing, that will happen a bunch of the time. Yeah. But if I get that they either have the wrong attitude or they're just like convinced that they're just going to play games with me, just negotiating, just, this hard line of, well, I don't think that what you're doing actually really has any value, because some people are just like that with sales.
Every contractor ever, dude.
Yeah. then I'll just walk away. I'll go, hey man, I get it. Look, you're the business that doesn't need marketing. I'm not going to try and convince you, and you'll get a lot of people that will come back to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I think a lot of that, like you always say, I've been doing this for like 4.5 months now, and now I'm just starting to understand what you say about like you need content out there. Because when you first said that, I was like, dude, what is this guy talking about? Like, I'm not gonna make YouTube, and then like now I'm understanding, like, dude, if you can do that correctly, they come to your ass pre-sold. They're asking you questions, right? Because
Yeah.
they've already seen that content.
Exactly.
That was like one of the biggest mental hurdles I had to get over, dude.
So you create a YouTube video right now that is, here's how many phone calls small businesses are missing and they don't even know it. Here's how many opportunities they're missing and they don't even know it. You know, here's like somebody messaged you on Instagram, somebody messaged you here, somebody went to this citation source and your phone number is inaccurate, or, you know, whatever, it's just not even there. Like you demonstrate in that video, and there's going to be a bunch of people that watch that video and go, oh shit, yeah, he's right. And then they're going to call you. Right. And that's a totally different conversation.
Yeah, 100%. And then, sorry, last question, Mike. Can you actually run ads to like lead magnets and YouTube videos, or how does that? I'm pretty new to the whole ads thing. Can you actually run ads? Like, if I was just posting YouTube videos of like how to get only 5-star Google reviews, how could I like force eyeballs on that content?
I mean, you can run an ad in YouTube, so you can just run an ad that just says promote this video.
Okay.
You know, and you can actually run ads. So you could take a YouTube video, take the link to it, make an ad in Facebook, driving people to that YouTube video. I've done that. Okay. You know, I've done a bunch of that. So you do either one.
Got it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I really like the idea about the templates too. I'm gonna set up like a little SOP for that, because that would literally take her like 3 minutes a client.
Yeah, and watch that training. Watch the training that Jeff recommended there, because it sounds like that could be a real good fit for you.
Oh, yeah, where do I get that training? Just to get
it's on there. It's on HighLevel's YouTube channel.
HighLevel's YouTube. Oh yeah, Pavel. I've actually been I've been on a couple of his community calls. Actually, he's a good dude.
No,
I'm in his
HighLevel.
No, I know, but HighLevel did an interview with Pavel.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. All right, we'll talk to you later.
I've actually been, yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Let's see here. Mike, you're converting me slowly. It's $2,500 for the surge, only $5,000 if they need a 7-page site, no e-commerce or e-learning, custom website design if they require additional functionality. I like it. Would it be good to record a 2-minute video that's generic and try to close that way instead of them committing on Zoom? Yeah, Eddie, I do think for him that, for everybody, there's a ton of value in having those videos out there and have them to be a part of your process, even if you still offer the opportunity to get on a call and stuff like that. But having that video being a part of your follow-up sequence, things like that, I think is super important. Has the R6 sales system gone up in the academy yet? Yes, it has, David. It's in HighLevel. It's in High Leverage Agency, excuse me, is where it's at right now, okay? Is there a way in HighLevel to set customers up so they're charged on specific dates, 1st or 15th? I don't think so right now. I'm sure that will be coming very quickly. If it's not, I think it's just based on their sign-up date. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Awesome. All right, everybody. I have got to run. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was valuable for you. Thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for joining me on these calls and taking time out of your Friday. And I hope that you have a great weekend for those of you in the United States and celebrating Memorial Day weekend. I hope you have a nice long weekend. And we will look forward to seeing you on a future call here. Okay. And in the community, in the meantime, I put up that banner there, labspecial.com/community. You should be able to join our free circle community there as well. And we can have some conversations in there in between these calls. Okay. Jason says you can charge recurring invoices on a specific date or time of the month. Awesome, Jason. That is super helpful. Okay. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Thanks again. And we will see you on a future call. Take care. Bye-bye.